Hi everyone, we are the GPS group. Aykut Düzgün, Camila Andres Almeida Maya, and Ömer Mutlu. I am Aykut Düzgün. And first of all, what is the GPS? GPS stands for Global Positioning System, and it's a system that consists of a satellite navigation system used to determine the ground position of an object according to NASA's official website. The GPS satellite constellation consists of over 30 operational satellites, each equipped with redundant atomic clocks and tracked by a ground control network. How did we start? We assumed that there could be more than just one way to develop this project, but each member of the group would conduct their own research about the given topic and how to achieve this functionality so we could discuss which approach we should take. We have also discussed and taken into account the planning and the report, since they are also crucial parts for this project, and we needed to put a lot of effort into making them as well as the coding itself. What is our project plan? First week, we researched about GPS, so we could include it on our report besides getting a better understanding about it, and how to implement the prototype with the given functionality. Week 2, discuss about our findings, assess the risk for developing the application, and choose which approach to the coding we should take, and what we thought we could start doing and how we would implement it as a group. Third week, have our code started according to what we already know, what has been taught in class, or what we have learned by doing research. The goal was to have at least the main libraries or call to APIs to be used. Week 4, gather on our research and me take notes to write our report and to do the presentation. Week 5, we work on the styling on the navigation of the page and styling. Resource requirements. As for the hardware required for this project, we can list two, a PC or laptop, so the coding could be done, and a mobile device for testing the application when it's ready, but also to exchange information with the group through the group chat. Either device could be used to carry out research as long as it has access to internet connection. The software used to develop the application was Visual Studio Code and also Expo Go application on our mobile phones. We used Expo CLI. We used the Expo location built-in method to ask users for permission to access the location. We use another built-in method to access the location by getting the latitude and longitude from the user's device. And we used Open Weather Map API. Key risks. Since this application is only a prototype and doesn't require a login system or personal information such as name, email, or password, it doesn't offer major risk to cyber attack or use personal data in case of security flaw. However, one of the risks we have to consider when building this application is that we are dealing with some sort of personal data. More specifically, the location where a person can be found. So we have to make sure the application complies with the user's permission and only work with the GPS sensor if the permission is given. So let's see how to work our application on an Android device. Now another group member Ömer is going to explain the codes.
Hello, this is Omar here. I'll try to explain the code, what it does. First, we have promise here that asks user to access to use location service. If the user denied, then it set the error message. But if we get to access to use location, then we have another promise here that set location here, and via location.cards we getting latitude and longitude value from user. Then we have here API call. We have weather URL here. We're passing this latitude and longitude value. We also have URL and API variable here. We're passing that as well. And we're converting that to JSON format. If we get healthy response from user, we set result to result here. And if we get an error message, we're setting error message as well. If there is an error occurs from location part or the API part, then it's set error message. We have text variable here that we only display, only return on the screen. It is this string at the first, since till we get response from API or location service. And if we have any error message, it null at the first, but if we set the error message, which is false value, by the way, null, if we set the error message, it's gonna turn to true and it's display the error message. If we get healthy response from API, then it's set the result here. It's null at the first as well, which is false value. And if we set the result, it's going to be true and it's going to display this part. In this part, we have two screens, one home screen and the weather screen. For home screen, we have here weather screen, which is false at the first. Then it shows at the first the home screen. In that part, we have some styling and text. We have button here that name weather, which calls, when we press this button, which calls screen navigation, and it set the weather screen to true, and it's navigate the screen to weather screen. For the weather screen, we have weather component. We pass this value from app.cs, and we have this value and the weather screen navigation. For the in the weather component, nothing special here. We're getting this value from app.cs, like I said. We have here also button name home screen. When we press that, it's called the weather screen navigation here, and it's set weather screen to false, and it's navigate us to home screen. We also have card component, which is the white box on the screen. We're getting styling styles.card. Here we're getting this styling via style.cards. But when we use the card component, if we want to add more styling, we can add via prop.styles. Like here, we're using this card component. We have this styling by default, we get in styles.card. And if we want to add more, we can add style.cards that we add here some styling. And we also have here props.children that allow us to have other components such as text and view. Here we can have inside the card component. So that was it for this part. Thank you for listening to me.
What is our advantage and disadvantage? Advantage: the code worked and we managed to finish everything on time. Disadvantage: we could have used the GitHub client so our progress would be recorded and it would look more professional. Our alternative: we could use so many different APIs, but we choose Expo location. Thanks for listening to me. It's the GitHub link. You can check our project in there. Thank you.